Okay, here we go. Hopefully this works. Let's see if we come up. Yeah. All right. Jeez. Cheese and crackers. This one's not private, is it? Let's see, because that's what happened last time with the settings. It was set
to... All right. Someone came on.
All right, cool. So it's not set to private. That's good.
I mean, right, it wouldn't be a live stream if we didn't have technical problems.
That's true.
We always have it. I don't know. We just literally needed to reboot the computer. It just wasn't picking up the microphone. So.
For no reason.
Yeah, no reason.
For no reason. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, turned it off, turned it back on.
Computers. So hello T, hello AF, hello Christy and Rebecca. I know before we had, I think we had Captivated on here too. Hello Vivian and Hashim. So, Final Girl support group. I can't talk, clearly. Hello Kerbo. Who read this? I want to know what everyone rated it, if you liked it, what you thought. I would say this probably ranks about the same rating as We Sold Our Souls for me, maybe a little more. Hello, Books on Stereo.
And did I read We Sold Our Souls?
No.
Is that by him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hated it. Hi, Chelsea. 1 out of 5. Dang, you really hated it.
What?
I also
Who said 1 out of 5? Oh, Books on Stereo.
I read it and gave it a generous 3. I didn't read the book, but I am curious on everyone's opinions. You better watch out because we're going to spoil.
Okay, so I read it, right, obviously, but why did people not like it? Because I didn't really have any problems with the book at all. Like, what was everyone's gripes? Because it seems like everybody kind of is middle of the ground, middle of the range, or below. So,
so
what are our thoughts here?
Christy said I liked it, 3.5 for me. So, all right, some of my problems.
Yeah.
The reasoning behind why she did certain things didn't make sense to me. Like, I felt like someone that is that paranoid and that has had terrible things like that happen to you should have more, like, should have smarter decisions. I feel like you have all the time in the world to do nothing but come up with ways to be safe, and she came up with some weird stuff that just didn't make sense.
So what is the, give me an example of what you're talking about.
Also, I feel like...
No, give me, before you move on, give me like an example of what you're talking about.
Like, you wouldn't know that someone could get onto your computer and grab, like, book information, or, like, someone could hack into your computer. Like,
did they ever determine how that happened?
The boy.
When he was there, right?
I don't know.
It was when he was there to help her, I think, is when he got the information, right?
Yeah, and I also feel like there were some things that, like, took me out of the story. Like, for example, she mentioned more than once that she couldn't get a driver's license because she didn't trust the DMV. Yet, you've flown on airplanes and things like that, so you literally can't fly.
When did you fly on airplanes?
Or something. Like, she talks about things in her past. Like, there are things that she does that you cannot do without a license or a state ID, which you get from the drivers or the DMV.
Okay.
So, like, unless they're fake. Like, because we all know, like, now that she had fake IDs.
She did have fake IDs, yeah.
And fake stuff like that. But, like, it just seemed inconsistent to me, and it pulled me out. And I was just like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? You have to have, even kids have to have state IDs.
Okay, let's catch up on some of these comments.
It's fine. I have to agree about it being slightly above We Sold Our Souls. Way too meta, and the main character was so hectic. Lynette was fascinating, but the plot was so boring. I enjoyed the first half, then I really liked... then I read like a cheap 80s horror movie. You know, the worst one you could watch as a kid. Then you probably shouldn't read My Best Friend's Exorcism, because it's totally like an homage to like old horror. It didn't feel like the Final Girls group actually liked each other, but no, they didn't.
But they didn't at the end. Like, that was the thing. Like, it got to a point where they were basically breaking up, right? But
they knew that.
But it had been decent. Like that. At the very beginning, if you guys remember, they start off talking about how it has changed so much in the last like couple of years. So like it was way better.
But
you know,
even
and it just keeps
them-
getting worse, and they're just trying to like kind of they're just doing it. They're just doing the things that they're used to doing, and they're just doing it for kind of for each other, and they're all kind of sick of it, and not all of them, but some of them, and yeah, so I don't agree with that.
I mean,
They did hate each
to
other
me,
at the
they
end.
didn't
basically.
like each other very much, but they knew that the final girl support group was very important, and like as per like the last chapter, literally the last chapter in the book, they pulled everyone together and literally went to the prison to continue the final girl support group for her. So I mean, like, they know that it's like a powerful and like thing that's needed. She lived under her name, right? I mean, she leased an apartment, right? I mean, it could have been under someone else's name, but I don't think it was. I think, I don't know, because and that's what makes it so strange is like, because she's supposed to be semi-famous, right? Like, people that follow this type of thing are supposed to know who she is and that she's a final girl. So I feel like you can't use your fake IDs and fake names for everything, because eventually someone would know who you really are and figure you out. I really can't talk today. She was totally paranoid in some situations and very ballsy in others. True. I read My Best Friend and that one was good.
So, my didn't really have any issues with the book. At first I thought it was kind of weird how like weird she was and how like anti-man she was. And then I thought about it, I kind of mentioned it to you, and then we kind of came to the conclusion it's like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like a book that seemed like it was doing it just to do it. You know, like how some books are just like men are the worst, women, you know, powerful women, blah blah blah. But like this one seemed like obviously she had a very good reason for not trusting men, especially, right? And when I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm being dumb. And then after that, I was just like, I totally get all of her decisions. She's crazy. She's basically like at this
she's
point,
literally she talks to a plant.
Yeah,
she hears a plant talk to her.
which I totally
Makes
got.
sense.
And it was just like I was like, okay, yeah, it's basically a story about her hopefully eventually making herself better and understanding what's going on, which she became she did it at the end. You know, she figured it out.
I don't think it was a bad book.
I liked it.
I think I gave We Sold Our Souls a 3. I'll probably give this one a 3.5 because I did like it slightly better. Another thing, he disagrees with me 100%, and I keep complaining about this to him. If I had had time to read this physically, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more because I really did not like the narrator. And it's not that she did anything wrong, because she didn't. She did a perfectly fine job. I just didn't like her voice. To me wasn't aesthetically pleasing, I guess. Like, yeah. I just didn't like it. I didn't like her voice. I didn't like the tone it gave the book. I didn't love the overall feel of the audiobook, so that definitely drove it down for me. And like at some points, like I had gone back to the physical book and read some things. Okay, hello.
On a scale of 1 to 5, what did everybody give it? I just want to see that in the chat right now.
I feel like
you didn't like her voice. Yeah, that's fine. But
I get why they chose her.
I don't understand why you didn't like. There was nothing wrong. She was fine.
So apparently, all the characters in here are named after final girls in like old 80s movies.
Oh, okay.
And the main narrator in the audiobook was an actress that played a final girl in like an old movie.
Okay.
So I get why they chose her. It just wasn't for me.
It was cool because it was like a different. I like the world setup because it was like. It was one of those things where this whole world revolved basically around this. This is like a huge part of like media and all of that, which is not our world. Obviously, this is not our world. It's not our Earth, right? It's a different story. So it was kind of different. It was cool. Like I liked that. I'm not a big fan of like books that focus on like, you know, real. I like not it's not fantasy.
No.
Is my point. So it's like, you know, that part of it I'm not attracted to. But I think he did a really good job. This is 2 books so far that I've read by him that I liked.
I want you to read My Best Friend's Exorcism.
I know.
Why did the book feel like a rehash of Scream 4? I've never seen that.
Never watched Scream 4. Don't like those movies. I don't like slasher movies.
I feel like that's another thing is I don't have that like nostalgic factor to this book. Is as much as and I didn't even realize, I think Christy made a comment the other day, and she was like that I like horror.
You had already said it weird. Why did you have to repeat it?
I don't know, because I thought it was funny in my head. And it made me realize, like, I do like horror movies, but the type of horror movies I like more are on the paranormal aspect. So when I watch a scary movie, to me, it's never like a thriller slasher.
No, slashers are not scary at all. They're just
I feel like
dumb.
slasher books can be scary
Like
because it gives you like anxiety
like the whole
reading
point
it.
of the book was like, oh, there's a guy with a knife going around killing everybody. It's like that would never happen. Like they would get like one, maybe two kills in, and then they would get stopped.
Wait, all right.
Now,
I couldn't
if they
believe
had
our
guns,
main character wrote a tell-all book when I couldn't bring myself. Wrote a tell-all book was like I couldn't bring myself to delete it. I can understand that because like a lot of people keep journals and diaries and things like that, and they say that it's cathartic and it's like
100%. That's
I
totally
agree with that.
Because like anything like look at all these the crazy people that like let's say a serial killer or something.
They
right?
find journals and stuff all the time.
And they find like trophies and all of that. It's like, why not just get rid of it? You know that you're more likely to get caught if you have something like that. So, like it's something that even, she was crazy. Guys, you got to realize she was crazy. Her decisions were not.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh.
Books can be scary. Like that's a lot of listening.
She got a lot of stuff. So, right, the plane rides and the fact that she spent all that time being paranoid and she didn't have more knowledge about how someone could hack her computer, it didn't add up. I mean, little things like that kind of brought me out of it every now and then. I struggled with the chaos of it all, but then it made me think that the author did a good job of portraying what it must be like inside her head. I feel like Grady Hendrix, hands down, is a great author. Like, he's very good at writing. Like he does his job well. He is a very niche author. Like he likes 80s / like rocker and horror and scary things. Like, and he does it well for what he does. It's just that I think for me some of it doesn't hit home with me because it's not my type of thing. I feel like My Best Friend's Exorcism, I latched onto it so hard because it was more paranormal and it was very nostalgic to stuff that meant something to me when I was growing up. It had a lot of 80s stuff in it, but not this type of stuff. It was like not slasher movie. It was like, Rainbow Bright and junk like that they talked about. All right. I get her PTSD. That's kind of normal for what she went through. Agreed. I also guessed that the son was behind half of it, so I expected that part. You did guess that. I didn't. I definitely thought, like, when she started bringing up the doctor being the one, I was like, they're not going to make it the doctor. Like, there's no way. That's too simple. She came up with it too quickly, and she's too gun-ho on it. But, like, I didn't expect the girl to be the instigator. Did you?
No.
I forget her name.
But I was hoping that it wasn't going to be a guy. Because I felt like the whole thing was like
anti-guys.
So I was like, he can't make it a guy, right? Because otherwise, this book would basically be like an agenda. It would have an agenda to prove, and I was like, it has to be a female because her whole suspicion is that it's a guy, and if it's a guy, then she was right, and therefore it would be really weird for her to, like, she's like, gets her thing proved and then nothing changes and she doesn't grow at all at the end. The fact that it was both of them, I thought made it a lot more interesting because now she realizes, like, oh, like I was a little wrong about this. She was, but it was weird because like the guy was still kind of like the mastermind behind it, right?
The techie part.
Well, no, because remember, he's the one that reached out to her and he's the one that, like,
Yeah.
That's according to, and then at the end, remember, like, they tried that her lawyer, she wanted to get killed. She wanted her to kill her. And her lawyer was like, she was basically saying, like, this is what's going to happen. Everybody's going to blame him. You're not going to get any of the credit for it. And your lawyer is going to try to say that he tried to convince you, blah, blah, blah. And then basically, I think at some point they say that is exactly what happened. Exactly what she said was what happened. I don't remember any of the characters' names.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my God, I cried at the farm. The girl.
When she died.
When she died, I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. I was just like,
I got a little misty.
I was like, you were heartless.
I didn't
like fully tear, but I was like choked up.
I got a little choked up.
It was just so sad because
I just thought it was effed up that they left her there with like a homeless dude. I was like, what?
No, he wasn't
Have
homeless.
more
Was he?
respect for like the dead.
He wasn't homeless. He was just an old guy.
I thought he was homeless. I
think he was just an old guy in the park.
Audiobook wasn't the best, but she didn't capture the tone of the book. I like the characters' growth by the end, that they came together. 3, 1, 3.5, 3.5. I don't understand why those two would attack and kill people. It looks like they randomly took someone, but we wouldn't suspect or something. But that wasn't well done for me.
They explain it though, right? First of all, the girl was a final girl, so she was already like, you get messed up from something like that, PTSD or whatever. So, she was broken at that point, right? Just like the other girls, and she didn't. They also kind of said that she was already a little like
the main character.
No.
The other girl. Okay.
They had already kind of implied that she was like crazy. She was a little bit beyond or whatever. And then the boy, like, I get it. It was super creepy when she found or she read the comic book or whatever, and I was just like,
yeah.
That's great. That
was a good part.
Bad. That's not a good part. Not great.
What was the other book by him that you read, Kivox?
What was it? I don't remember.
Southern Book Club's Guide to
I really
Slaying
liked
Vampires.
that one too. It's just weird and like great. I liked it.
Oh wow, the trophy rooms of Chrissy's were so creepy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are probably people like that out there that would collect stuff like that. It's weird, but they obviously ended up not being very sane. Like, she was not sane, really. She died, right? She killed her.
Yeah, and then she felt bad about it.
Yeah. I agree with not enjoying the narrator, and reading it physically might have made it higher. And then she gave it a 3.5. The guy took a broken teenage girl and used her for his own agenda. Okay, I mean, I get it. But he made a guy use a stupid girl to do the bad stuff, so it's still a girl that got into a guy and is willing to do anything he wants for them. Didn't like that.
But she didn't really do it for him, right? It's not like, were they like in love?
I don't think so. They didn't mention that.
I don't remember that part of it.
She probably just used him for, like, they used each other.
I feel like, I think that
like,
was more of the thing.
The girl was the victim, and she's the one that got close to Lynette because she was the victim, and the guy was the more techie side of it.
But
I feel like they complemented each other.
He was also the more thought out things. Like, she kind of just went on a whim to, it's like, oh, I'll just go with her because this is it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna go bonding. I was just like, man, that's effed up. That's effed up.
Same tea. I got choked up over the death too. Southern Book Club is still my favorite.
I liked it better too. It has more like fantasy.
Southern Book
type
Club
thing in
so far from. I'm only now missing 2 books.
It's your
from
second
him.
favorite.
It is my second favorite. My favorite is obviously My Best Friend's Exorcism, then Southern Book Club, then this, then probably We Sold Our Souls. But I still have to read the Paperbacks from Hell, which really isn't a true novel. And I have to read Horror Store.
Horror Store, yeah. We're gonna read that next month. Next month, October, not September. Was I not supposed to say that? Was that a surprise?
Oh, it wasn't.
There's only
for
8
me.
people here. It's
yeah.
okay.
I physically read Horror Store when it first came out, and I still think about it all the time. It's my favorite by him. That's
Nice.
cool. I can't wait to read it. I've had it for years, and I just haven't read it. But how did they get in touch? She wasn't a patient of his mother's yet. Did I miss that part?
No, I think she had her information. Like, I think she
Didn't the parents reach out?
Wasn't there like a website thing that they were all like a part of or something crazy like that? I don't remember.
But didn't they say the parents of the girl, didn't they reach out to that doctor?
Yeah, they wanted her to like.
So I mean, she probably had the info.
Yeah.
The only one I've read by him otherwise was Horror Store. I'm looking forward to Horror Store now. I mean, there was nothing else really that I liked or disliked. I mean, I thought it was a good mixture of kind of character development and pace of the story. Like, I never found myself bored per se, but like, I just thought it was all right for me. It was good. It was better than middle of the road because I just think he's a good writer and he makes you care about people and things.
I liked it. I'd probably give it like a 4.
I'm surprised you liked it so much. I don't know why.
The only reason you didn't like it is because of the audiobook.
No.
The
I mean,
story
that didn't help.
The story was fun. It was fun. I read it in like a week, I think.
I don't remember
Didn't
how
take
long
that
it
long.
took me.
That's how I know if I like a book. Like, if I
Read it
just
fast.
keep listening to it. Otherwise, it's just like, if I find a reason to not listen to it, then I'm just like, not really enjoying this book, I guess. Like,
I feel like Horror Store would be cool to read physically because of all the pictures and the layout and stuff. Even though you do have access to that in the audio.
you have the physical copy.
I know,
of it,
but I'm
so
saying like if you go to read it,
I will read it.
they have the files. They have the files, like the picture files on the audiobook, I believe. This also had like cool
Files.
little file things in here.
Files.
I don't know why I can't talk today. He always has this weird picture.
That's him.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that the same one that he always uses?
I think so. Like this author picture of him holding a skull.
That's funny.
The Final Girl Support Group. I don't know. He's kind of like an author where I think I'll read everything from. Like if he puts out something, I'll give it a chance, even if it doesn't sound like I'll love it.
We'll give it a go.
Give it a go. I don't have much else to say about it. It wasn't y'all's normal scary though. It wasn't, but
It's not scary. Like, here's the thing.
He doesn't find books scary.
Are not scary.
I've never found a book that scares me truly, so
Like,
I
have you ever
agree.
read a
I think
book
visual is
and you
more
were like-
scary.
You were like, oh, I can't keep reading. This is too scary.
Not yet.
It's like
That's always my goal. Like
that's
I
not-
want that so badly.
I feel like that doesn't exist.
I feel like that's why I want to read Kill Creek so bad, which is going to be the October book club, because I want something scary, and people
Especially for
tell me it's
October, right?
scary. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
I'm looking. No, wait. I don't like scary stuff. So the first half gave me such anxiety. Then I got used to it and just enjoyed it. I think I struggled because I read The Final Girls by Riley Sager earlier this year and really enjoyed it. It wasn't y'all's normal. Okay, got it. I really like Horror Store. The whole IKEA knockoff thing was really fun, and all the photos and descriptions were fun. So.
The next book club will be September 26th, and it looks like we are reading
The Maleficent Seven.
Maleficent.
I kept calling this the Magnificent Seven. And then finally I started saying the right name, and he's like, no, you got that wrong. It's the Magnificent Seven. I'm like, no.
Well, no, because that's a story. That's a movie.
I know. I'm an idiot. So this is September's book. I got this book sent to me, and it sounded really cool. So
If you hit me in the shoulder one more time.
You started it. What do you think so far?
It's all right.
Oh, no.
It's
You can't take it seriously. I don't think it's meant to be a
it's
serious
not
book.
a jokey book though.
It's not?
It's not funny at all.
I don't mean funny, but it's not supposed to
Oh.
be like...
I said jokey. Isn't jokey the same thing as funny? Like there aren't any jokes. I haven't heard any jokes in it. It seems pretty serious. It takes place in like a fantasy world, and it does like a time skip at the beginning. So it sets up the world, and then it's like time skip 20 years later or something. I don't know how many years later, but it's like 20 years later, and then it's like, hey, we got to get the band back together type thing for a reason that you guys can find out when you read it. It's not bad. It's not a bad start. It's just like when I go into a book not understanding anything, kind of throws me off.
Well,
a
and
bit.
when I describe it as something and then it's not that.
Yeah, because you're really bad sometimes.
Yeah.
At like, I don't know where.
Well, I mean, I read
You know
it.
what it is? You probably get it from like other YouTubers that don't know how to describe stuff. When
I haven't
they
heard
read it.
anyone talk about this book.
Oh, then you have no excuse.
It's my fault.
It's all 100% your fault. But I've seen people like describing books as something, and I'm like, you're wrong. You're dumb. Get the hell out of here. I'm never watching your video again, stupid.
Wow. I got uncomfortable listening to Bird Box while driving in the dark in the part where she's driving also. That's about the only time I got scared from a book other than the time. No, can't English. Another time jump book. This. I don't feel like
no. It's not like that. It's like literally like they just there's like a war going on, right? And then the person in charge has all their their 7, right, people that they're cool 7 people that are super powerful, and they're gonna go into this war, and then it jumps forward to after the war. They're not gonna go into the war. They're like ending the war or whatever, and then it jumps forward to after that war.
I don't mind that.
It's not like, and it's not like
that was like our biggest issue with She Who Became the Sun, to be like could go off on a completely different tangent.
It's like in the first chapter, like you get
they
one
kept jumping and jumping and jumping.
You get one chapter of like the past.
That's
and
fine.
Then it goes the next part of it is the story. You know what I mean? So it's basically kind of just setting up, and you're introduced to some characters. One thing that you guys, I recommend when you start reading it, just pay attention to all of the characters, because like in the first chapter, I think they show like 3 points of view, but the characters are very distinct from each other to the point where I don't remember any of their names, so don't freaking ask me. But like they're very distinct, so I knew who it was, who that chapter was about. You know what I mean? But I'm really bad with names. Like half the time when I like read books, I don't even know people's names.
Yeah.
Like
you
even
just
like
do it by context.
I just do it by like, oh, who's talking right now? Okay, that's that person that did that other thing. Got it. Cool. The lady, you know, like that book that we were just talking about. We didn't say any of their names. We said the doctor, the main chick, the boy, you know, the crazy girl.
It's true.
So that's how a lot of times how it is for me.
And that's promising. Exiled. They said I've read some of his other stuff and enjoyed them, so might give this a go. It's cool. Are you talking about She Who Became the Sun? I did talk. Yes, I was talking about She Who Became the Sun. But yeah, I'm excited for this. It seems very like anime to me, like the way it's described.
I'd say it's more,
and it's kind of Kings of the Wild sounding to me, which you all know I love.
It's more fantasy. When I started reading it,
I'm excited. I hope it ends up being pretty good. So that's it.
Let me see how far I am in it. I started it yesterday. I am
One Town, 7 Bloodthirsty Monsters, Their Last Hope.
I have 13 hours left.
What does that mean? I mean, how many hours is it?
I am on chapter 4. So yeah, so there's a prologue, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not even that long. So I'm like what, an hour?
No. If you're on chapter 4,
hour and a half. I'm an hour and a half in.
You're only on page like 40.
Yeah, I'm not that far.
Out of like 400.
Look, these are all the chapters. Yeah. So I'll tell you how far I actually am in it, if you I can't.
This dude looks mad cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited. I
There's
just want something
like
different.
A sorcerer, there's a necromancer, there's a vampire, there's an orc, chieftain.
Necromancer, vampire, orc, chieftain, war god, twisted alchemist.
You act like I'm crazy and like I don't remember anything. Get out of here, bro. I got like 3
I'm thinking
or
about
4
me.
of
I don't
those.
remember anything.
You were like, orc, chieftain. Okay, yeah, you're right. Oh. So yeah, guys, let's try that book next. We'll see what happens. And then next month we got a scary book, right? Hopefully.
Well, after that, October, right? Kill Creek, and then November, I think I'm going to do Under the Whispering Door.
Okay, we're not gonna go 2 months ahead, right? But that's the plan for now. If you guys have any,
I pre-ordered a special edition copy of that book, so I'm pretty sure.
If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in this video chat thing. Also, do you want to do the thing?
What?
Since we've been starting to do that again, the word thing, to have somebody leave a comment. You guys never leave comments on these videos because you guys are just in the chat. But if you do,
slasher.
Oh, slash her.
No.
Oh.
Slasher film.
The whole thing?
No, just slasher. It's a hard one. You're welcome, T.
Yeah, you got to find a quote that has slash her.
Slasher. It can't be that hard.
I can't say that word.
I'm sure she could come up with something.
So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video before you leave. They leave that comment and stuff. It help us out, you know what I'm saying? Just off topic right now, we spent all day yesterday cleaning. Her legs are dead. It's hilarious because she woke up. She's like, my legs. And I'm like, because you walked and stood up and bent down all day yesterday. I got all of my tools out of the shop. I know this is kind of not something we normally talk about in the book club. So if you're done with the book club, you can go if you want to hang out with us for a couple more minutes. Got everything out of there. Now I'm like vacuuming everything, getting all the little bits out. So I basically got, maybe on Discord, I'll take a picture of the living room and how it looks right now with all my tools in there.
We had to put up like, set up tables to put everything on.
Yeah, it's
the living room is not a living room right now. It's a storage room.
Mm-hmm. It's not really a living room. Normally, it's a puzzle room.
Yeah,
where there's one table and a bookshelf with puzzles on it. So our puzzle room is now.
I
a
also
storage
we
tool
both
room.
did a lot yesterday. Like I also redid my entire bookshelf basically in both rooms, and then put away all the books, put the puzzles in a different spot, reorganized that. I cleaned the bathroom like top to bottom. Like, it is a lot of work. And we cleaned the kitchen while you did one room. But yours is a lot of work.
Dude, I went up and down those stairs like 100 times. Like,
I'm surprised your legs aren't dying.
Baby, come on, baby.
Don't call me that. That's weird.
No, I wasn't calling you baby. I was saying like, come on, baby. You know, like, I also worked out yesterday, so congrats to me. Thank you very much after doing all that work. So you are lazy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll keep you guys up to date. I may start doing, once we figure out if we're actually going to be able to afford doing the shed and stuff, I do want to do a like a build log vlog type thing, maybe weekly or monthly or something on that. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. Meek, say bye.
Bye.
You got anything else?
No.
Okay, bye-bye-bye.